Hello. My timing is so perfect. I love the way that's been feeling.
Yeah.
Even the contrast. My question is about beliefs and the tree stumps. And how can we identify the beliefs that are limiting us, that we believe to be the tree stumps? The ones that we can't even see.
It's a perfect question. Your life will produce a desire that cannot hold that belief. Your desires for expansion demand the dissolving of bogus beliefs. Most powerful statement we've ever made. Think about it. Doesn't expansion insist that you let go of the past? And isn't a belief only a thought that you continue to think? And can't you tell by the way you feel within some of them that they're not serving you because they suck when you focus on them? Yeah.
That's it.
That's everything, isn't it?
That's everything.
Want to chew on it at all, or are you feeling satisfied?
I'm here, and yet I feel so satisfied.
Yeah. When Esther first found us, she was so excited. She said to Jerry, "Oh, good, now I can tell who's lying to me." And so she immediately turned on the television to find one of those television judge programs. It was Judge Wapner. She wanted to watch to find out who was telling the truth. And so she listened to an episode, and then she said, "All right, Abraham, who is telling the truth?" And we said, a better question is, who believes what they're saying? Who's a vibrational match to what they're saying? And in many cases, they both were, even though they were telling very different stories. Interesting, isn't it? So sometimes the story you tell really supports the beliefs you hold. But now an even bigger question is, do the beliefs I hold support the expanded desires that I now have? That's really the question of expansion. And since you can't prevent yourself from expansion, your beliefs must evolve, yes? And if you've decided not to let your beliefs evolve, then you've decided that the crevasse between who you have become and who you are letting yourself be is going to get wider and wider, wider, which means your life experience is going to become less and less pleasurable as you go along. That's why if you're reaching for satisfaction, it's easier for your beliefs to move with your desire. And the thing that has always worried people is, shouldn't my beliefs be my guiding light? Well, your beliefs are your habit of thought, and it doesn't matter how valid or not valid they are. Sometimes parents teach their children things that just are not true, like you are not worthy, or that like you were born with sin, or like you are here to prove worthiness, or like there is no gain without pain. Sometimes your beliefs are really far apart from what your inner being knows to be. But if you allow your life to do what it always does, which causes you to ask for more and more and more, then your beliefs must move. You must be willing to let your beliefs bridge, your beliefs be modified. But what worries people is, but what about this guiding light? Shouldn't I hold to what someone taught me? And we say, well, maybe if that's the only mutuality in trust you've ever found, but once you find alignment with who you really are, once you come into vibrational alignment with your source, then this is the thing that we so want you to hear. That feeling of satisfaction that you're coming to understand and to follow will lead you to improving beliefs, but will never lead you away from the goodness that you innately seek. In other words, your inner being is pure positive energy. Your inner being is pure love. Your inner being is liquid love. Once you get the beat of that satisfaction, you will not stray from the evolved being of light and love that you were born to be. It cannot be. And so, what is it? Feel how illogical it is. And so many humans don't quite understand this. Feel how illogical it is that something that brings hate in your heart could be a good thing. Feel how illogical it is that something that is so frightening is a good thing. In other words, doesn't it make sense to you that good does feel good? Isn't that logical? That's what you based your entire guidance system on when you knew that you were coming into this physical body. I will be able to feel the wholeness of who I am, and I will be able to feel the pinching off of who I am. Yeah.
Hi.
We are.
So I've really been thinking about beliefs, and so that was a very powerful opening. I know I have beliefs that don't serve me, but I know I have beliefs that serve me.
So a belief is only a belief I continue to think, and so I will pay attention to how I feel, and I will continue to think the ones that feel the best, and I will continue to be aware of the ones that I encourage and promote through my attention to them that don't feel so good, and I'll just keep making choices little by little that feel better and better until after a while the good feeling beliefs will be what are dominant and the not good feeling ones will be rare.
Okay, so some beliefs are going to bring me more satisfaction. Some of them, they're going to lead me into dissatisfaction.
You see what happens when you start fresh in the day, when you don't have any belief thumping in your head, and you're aware that you're in this place where the momentum is slight and it's easy to choose, and you keep choosing the belief that feels best. What begins to occur to you? Esther will find herself sometimes hundreds of times a day as a thought occurs to her, because she is not always aware, no one really is, what influence she's under when she receives a thought. In other words, when you get good at translating thought, and you all are much better than you know, sometimes it takes a little bit. Here's a good way of saying it. You might like this story. So when Esther first began receiving us, it came from meditation, and people wanted us to quantify who we were and where we are from, and Esther kept saying, how would I know? All I know is that I'm receiving them, which worried some people. Well, if you don't know, then how can you trust it? And Esther said right from the beginning, because it feels so good, it feels so much like love. So because she was on the inside of it and she could feel how it felt, she knew there was nothing to worry about because she could feel what it felt like. So when you acknowledge that a thought feels good and you're aware of allowing that good feeling thought to just stay active, and then you get to consciously witness it becoming more and more and more until it leads to something more and more and more, it doesn't take long before you really gain your confidence about it. And then when you find yourself at the very beginning vibration of a thought that doesn't feel so good, you can confidently say, oh, choose this instead, when it's just so easy to do. And if you let that be your plan of action, rather than I'm going to take beliefs that I know for sure aren't serving me, and I'm going to get to the bottom of those beliefs, which you're not going to get to the bottom of them, you're just going to keep them active longer and longer and longer and longer. After a little while, those choices just become easier and easier. And here's the thing we want you to hear. You must know we want you to hear it because we've said it so many times already in the hours that we've been together. It's easy to figure it out in the early beginning vibrations of any thought or belief. Do it when it's easier. And when there's more momentum, then just let it be. Don't decide that you're going to change your beliefs. Just decide that you're going to gravitate toward the ones that feel the best and give them the most airtime until beliefs that you're not giving attention to just become less and less active. A belief is only a vibration that you keep renewing in your now, in your now, in your now, in your now. And if you're renewing the good feeling ones and not renewing the not good feeling ones, after a while the not good feeling ones will just not be part of your now experience. But if you had an experience 20 years ago and it was profound and emphatic and big and a lot of people fussed about it, and then you keep telling the story year after year after year after year after year after year, then you keep renewing it. That's the only reason that it's active. It's not active because you belong to it and it belongs to you. It's only active because you keep it active by your attention to it. And so when you're giving your attention to other things, you can't give your attention to wanted and unwanted at the same time. you can give your attention to wanted and unwanted and wanted and unwanted and wanted and unwanted and pretty much hold yourself with the same things following you everywhere you go. Or you could give your attention to wanted and wanted and wanted and wanted and wanted. And in this day of mostly thinking about wanted, that thing you've been dragging along with you is less draggable. You're relating to it less. Your attachment is so much less. It never did own you. You kept renewing your agreement with it by regurgitating it, you see. And once you've got that clear, then you just do a better job at the buffet. You just choose the things that you like more. But all of you have those people in your life, or those memories in your life, or those experiences in your life that for whatever reason you continue to give your attention to them. And sometimes some of your best relationships are the ones that are not as good for you, because in renewing your attention to those things, you also renew all of the baggage that's going on with them. So it really takes a determination to feel satisfied or not give your attention to it. And for some around you and some subjects around you, it might feel to you that, let's say it's a person that you're bringing along less and less. You might start to relate to that person who feels left behind. It's easy to, in a sort of caring way, not want to leave a person behind, but in a similar way, sometimes you don't want to leave those memories behind either. You don't want to leave those episodes behind either, because for some reason, they serve you in some way. You think that they're serving you in some way, and we want to say, no, they're not. There's nothing that happened before that is serving you in any way that you're now and beyond isn't serving you, because, hear this, because everything that once served you put something in your vortex that is now really serving you. So the positive end of every stick is now what's serving you and calling you forward. The negative end of the stick did its work, put what you want in your vortex, and your vortex is calling you forward. You can let go of the past and not leave one important thing behind, because as the past served you, it went into your vortex and now is calling you in a positive way. Does that make sense to you? We've not said that before. So in the same way, you could say to a friend or to someone that you really care about, who you sort of feel like you want to put some distance between you and them because maybe they feel like they're part of your problem or a lot of your problem, but the best part of them is in your vortex. So you're not forsaking them, you're not abandoning them, you're just selectively sifting them. You're just positive aspecting them. You're just focusing upon the aspects of them that cause you to feel good when you focus upon them. You're just looking for the satisfying aspects of them, you see, so that you maintain your relationship with all things that matter, and you leave behind your resistance, and then you fly like you mean to.
Yeah. That was it. I mean, I will listen to that many times on the recordings, but I think you brought me someplace I've never heard you bring me before. So.
We went someplace we've never been before.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you.
I love you.